Yo, what's going on, everybody out there? This is Popular Stranger, and welcome back to another episode of my franchise with the Colorado Rockies. This is episode number 4, game number 30 of the season, in which we have a 20-9 record, starting up some interleague play against the Tampa Bay Rays, who have a record of 14-15. And let's just jump right into it, pick up where we left off. Last episode, if you remember, was a game against the Diamondbacks, the second game of a 3-game series. And in that third game, we did have a loss, 4-2, totally dominated by the pitcher of the D-backs, Daniel Hudson. Coming into the 9th inning, 2 outs, we had only 1 hit. Dexter Fowler managed to get on base with those 2 outs, and then Hanley Ramirez hits a home run to bring him home, but we could not complete the rally and again lose 4-2. After that, we began a 3-game series with the Atlanta Braves. The first one was a very convincing win, 6-1. We grabbed 4 runs in the bottom of the first. 8 batters came around to take their spots at the plate. We forced their pitcher into 28 pitches. Tulowitzki, Rosario, and Chris Young Jr. all had RBIs in that first inning. In the 7th inning, with 2 on and 2 outs, Chris Young Jr. hits another single to add 2 more RBI to his total for the game. And again, 6-1 was the final score. Ricky Nolasco pitches a complete game, 9 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts. Very good outing for him. And I thought I wrote it down, but I believe that was his first game in a Rockies uniform since I completed that trade that I think I told you guys about in the last episode. If I didn't, Ricky Nolasco is on our team now. You'll remember him from Miami Marlins series, our franchise from last year. But the next game was a very exciting game. 13 innings of play against the Braves again. Down 2-0 very early. We did strike with a manufactured run, and then in the bottom of the 4th inning, Rosario would tie the game with a solo home run. Bottom of the 6th inning, John Mayberry Jr. finally gets his first home run of the season. He is not doing what he did for me in last year's game, but he's still been a very solid guy that gets on base a lot. Just not hitting the home runs, but he gets his first home run to take a 3-2 lead. They would end up tying it in the 7th inning, and it stayed that way all the way to the bottom of the 13th. With no outs, Herrera gets on base. I figured let's try to play small ball and manufacture another run, so I bunt with Chris Young Jr. He makes it over safely. I do another bunt with Rosario. He makes it over safely. So bases loaded, no outs in the bottom of the 13th, and Dexter Fowler comes through with a huge single to win the game in extras, 4-3. The last game of that series with the Braves was a complete blowout. We win that one 10-1, go up 3-1 early in the game, and then in the bottom of the 8th, bases loaded, Tulowitzki comes in for a pinch hit and hits a grand slam. We'd add 3 more runs later on in that same inning, and again the final score there was 10-1. Miguel Gonzalez, another good outing for him, 7 innings pitched, 5 strikeouts, no earned runs. And in that game, a lot of contributors, 7 different players had at least 1 RBI in that game. We would then travel over to Arizona for another 4-game series, this time with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The first one was a 4-2 win, with the game tied at 2 in the 7th inning. Hanley Ramirez comes through with a big 2-run home run, which would ultimately lead to that 4-2 victory. He finished with 3 RBI in that game. De La Rosa pitches another good game as well, 7 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts. That win gives him a 3-1 record on the early season, and Betancourt comes in to get save number 9 of the season. The next game against the Diamondbacks was a good one. It was unfortunately a loss, 4-3. Todd Helton broke a 0-0 tie in the top of the 4th with an RBI single right up the middle, but we gave up a run the very next inning to let them tie it. Helton comes back in the top of the 6th with another RBI, and then actually that was a 2 RBI single, so the lead went up to 3-1. They cut it to 3-2 in the bottom of the 7th, and then in the bottom of the 9th, Betancourt comes in and unfortunately blows the save, giving up 3 straight hits, and the final score is a loss, 4-3. The next game we got revenge against the D-backs, a 7-1 win, down 1-0 in the top of the fourth, bases loaded, grand slam by a backup catcher, Ramon Hernandez, very unexpected. Nolasco pitches 7 innings in that game, 10 strikeouts, improves his record to 2-4, 2-0 since he came over in the trade, and of course he had the 4 losses before he got here. Herrera 3 for 5 in that game. He's batting .412, so he's just been very, very solid. Leads the NL in batting percentage so far. The last game of that 4-game set with the Diamondbacks was a 4-1 win. John Mayberry comes up big with 3 RBI on 2 hits in that game. Jaleese Chancine improves his record to 3-1 with 7.1, so 7 1/3 innings pitched, 0 runs allowed. Very, very good outing by a lot of my pitchers lately. Then we traveled to Los Angeles for a 3-game series with the Dodgers. The first one was a very low-scoring, quiet win, 2-1. We were down 1-0 in the top of the 8th, and because of an Andre Ethier home run, so he hit a home run to give them that 1-0 lead. But Dexter Fowler would get on base. Chris Young Jr. would pinch run for him, and I stole second base, bunts him over to third, and Cargo tied the game with an RBI single to get Chris Young Jr., the pinch runner, home. Herrera comes in again with a clutch hit and gives an RBI single to get Cargo home all the way over from first. And Betancourt would come into that game and complete it for his 10th save of the season. The next game against the Dodgers was a very tough one. Kershaw was very, very tough to hit in this game. Down 1-0 in the top of the 5th. He hits 2 of my batters in a row to allow me to tie the game, get some guys on base. We tie it up at 1. And then in the top of the 8th, with 2 outs and 1 on, Carlos Gonzalez comes in, hits home run number 7 of the season to grab a 3-1 lead. They would score in the 9th, but Betancourt was able to hold them off for save number 11, and again, that's a 3-2 win over the Dodgers. And then in the last game of the series, it was a 1-0 win. Dante Rosario has a big RBI single in the 8th inning to give us that 1 run that we needed to win. Miguel Batista pitches 6 innings, 10 strikeouts, and Betancourt comes in to get save number 12. So he's been very busy, as you see him walking in the game again for another save opportunity. So upcoming in the schedule, we got 2 more games with the Tampa Bay Rays. Then we play the New York Yankees, St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs, and San Francisco Giants. So one of those teams will be in the next video. I'm thinking probably the Cubs or Giants because it's kind of the proper time or length in between this episode and the next episode amount of games. So we get the win there, improved to 21-9, 1.5 games up in the NL West at the top there, and we really are on fire right now. We haven't lost too much, and we're going to try to keep it going. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll be back with another one next week. Make sure you click that thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I would appreciate it. Thanks. Peace.